Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, it's that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I am your, whatever, host, Eric Sizemore, joined by my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael.
Hi, Eric.
And stopping in for a QUik Six, we got Jack.
Hey, happy to be here.
We're going to have some funny memes for you. But first, a patented, trademark, copyrighted, absolutely essential component of every single legal episode of Facebook for the Blind. You know it. You love it. You know what I'm talking about. And, of course, I am stretching because I'm trying to get the lag out of my own presentation. We are talking about the Depressing. We're number one. And you're like, oh, it's so slow. I know. The news is so slow. It's just crazy, man. So we marked off the Tangerine Toddler's first 100 days. He sent his vice president over to kill the Pope. Harvard's, like, people think Harvard's cool again, and I'm conflicted. J.D. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, is like, we need to fight in the streets and slow down and fight and resist everywhere. And I'm liking my billionaire governor. And that just feels dirty. It just does. Like, you're like, yeah, and you're like, oh, billionaire got me to like him. Am I the simp now? I hate this timeline so bad. Trump helped the Canadian Liberals win the prime ministership up there in Canada, which is absolutely hilarious. They were down 25 points, and then Trump is like, hey, look at how cool right wing can be. And the left wing won in Canada. So thank you, Donald J. Trump. Wisconsin court is I don't even know what to say. The Trump regime sent sent ICE. They sent somebody and they arrested a judge. Like, we're in a whole new realm. We are in a whole new realm of horribleness. Trying to remember if there was anything else fun that I bibliographied, because this is how I read the news. I create citations for almost all the crap here. Let's see. Boasberg found probable cause for criminal contempt. We already talked about that. I don't know. Bad stuff happened. Hey, solar storage accounted for 84% of all new U.S. power added in 2024. That's kind of good. To wrap up the news, we always like to throw in a cute animal story, something wholesome, but I didn't have anything prepared. So here's a picture of a little duckling surfing on a pond on a slice of pizza. And he's using the sliced pizza like a little boat. And that has been the news from Facebook for the Blind for April 29th, 2025, episode 204. And now, without further ado, gonna hand it over to my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael, for, as I understand it, in Europe, a rather small round one.
Round one.
Oh, you're muted, dummy. I'm gonna hit the button that says ask you to unmute like you're a noob.
You know what? I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad I was muted. So the joke's on all of you. Here comes my big long round one, kicking it off with this meme that I fucking stole from somewhere. It says, never ordering from this place again, smack my head. And then it says, step 4, whipped cream, optional. And there's 2 options. One is no cream. The other option is, yeah, cream on it.
Not in this economy. Asking nobody for that.
You need to calm down. This is for the wholesome round. Science News is reporting that artificial intelligence detects breast cancer 5 years before it develops.
That's amazing.
And Invis, friend of the show, Invis4Yo, says, this is what we want to see AI being used for, not to create another social media auto replier for marketing.
Yeah. Hell
100%.
Yep.
Oh my God, I love this. It was almost my post with the most. Lich says, my autistic coworker is my favorite person on the planet. I asked if he would still be friends with me if I got a mullet, and without looking up, he said, we are not friends.
Beautiful.
This picture, I love this little guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been on the internet forever. It's just a little
Forever.
boy. He's holding a donut. He's dressed very dapper. He's
Wedding.
Yeah, definitely at
Wedding.
a wedding. He's standing on the dance floor, one hand in his pocket, bow tie, suspenders, and it says, "Why does this dude look like he should be 68, retired from the post office, and enjoying his second daughter's wedding?" Celestial Raven, who I don't know very well, but Celestial Raven has a picture of it's a knight, a skeleton in night, but he's making like pour over coffee, and it says, "I be like, no worries, then worries." Yeah, it's me. This is news. It says news at the top, so you know it's news, but it
Oh,
is
yeah.
in green, so it might be the Onion. It says judge gives Trump administration 3 days to return her from El Salvador prison.
I
I
want
do
that.
want to I do want to point out the date on this
Oh,
was
man.
actually April 7th.
Oh.
So before Trump's people had arrested that judge, they
Oh.
called it. The Onion is now ahead of the news.
Wow.
This one's not a joke, but it is great. It's from Rainbet. It says Pope Francis's personal wealth at the time of his passing was just $100.
Nice.
$100. This is just a joke for Minnesotans. Hold on one second. It says the founders knew what they were doing. And this is the meme format where the brain gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it, I don't know, what do we call the last one?
Like enlightenment.
Enlightenment? Sure. I was going to say actualization, but I think enlightenment's probably right.
Sure.
And these are towns, and you'll see. So the first one with the small brain is Savage next to Burnsville. Those are towns in Minnesota. Next, the brain gets bigger. Fertile next to Climax.
Oh my.
And then the brain gets even bigger. Ball Club near Bush Landing. And then when we've reached full enlightenment, and there's a picture from Google Maps, and it says Little Dick Lake next to Big Dick Lake.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dang.
That's some good geography right there.
It's great. Oh no, hold on. There we go. CNN, breaking news. There's a picture of Donald Trump dressed like the Pope, and it says, Trump declares himself new Pope, saying, quote, no one knows more about poping than me. And this will be my last meme for round one from Lawfully Benjamin, friend of the show, Lawfully Benjamin, who says, Nirvana was never the same for me after Charles Barkley left. And there's a picture of Charles Barkley and Nirvana from SNL. This is the best Nirvana makeup for sure. And that's all I have for round one. Kicking it over to Eric.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Feels weird saying it that way.
Unnatural even.
Just being different. You know what I mean?
I don't like the sound of your name.
Yeah, I don't like hearing you say it, to be honest with you. Really. Like I think it's actually more genuine when you say punk.
Did you just say genuine like the rapper?
Shut up, punk. Set a nice example for Jack or guess. All right. For heading into round one, ostensibly the wholesome round, although studies have shown no. Brought to you by Haterade. Yes, Haterade. The thirst quencher. Not really. It's advertising. Haterade. The other white meat. Haterade. It ain't in me. My friend Danielle brought this one, all the protests in town, said the best one of the day. Woman's holding up a protest sign, says, childhood vaccines cause adulthood. Thought that was adorable. Remembering that Dale Earnhardt gave his life for you. And he was born April 29th, 1951. So happy 74th birthday to our Lord and Savior from Comrade Dale Earnhardt. This is the kind of show where I really need TD's enthusiasm. Fair enough. This one, we got a picture of the pearly gates, and there is St. Pete behind the podium, and he's holding up a sign, and he's explaining to a dude in a red hat. He said, yes, he was the test. And American News says, and you failed. It just says, ask yourself, are you actually following faith or a greedy billionaire? And yeah, I like that. Quite a few people resonated with quite a few of the fans, as they say. Friend of the show, Joe Klosek. If you're not following Joe Klosek, you are missing out. Has posted this picture that is just a bunch of white cops in the Oval Office, along with, I guess, the Attorney General there, Pam Bondi. So we got 4 of them in cowboy hats. 3 of them are pretty good-looking cowboy hats. One of them looks really stupid. Surrounding a president who just signed something. Joe Klosek says, and just like that, full-blown fascism has finally come to America. Because the headline is that Trump has ordered Hegseth and Bondi to determine how the military can be used in domestic law enforcement, which you remember in last week's episode was still illegal in the Constitution. And Ian Steffe comments, Jesus Christ, that picture made me think he was being visited by the DEI purged village people. He's got the cowboy man.
I gotta say, the one guy who's standing there with the brown vest on, that guy looks hard as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it. He's a fascist piece of shit, but like,
yeah. But he's sporting a goatee, so he's clearly slightly cooler than every other guy in the room.
That fit, man. I am almost never in favor of a necktie with blue jeans, but if you're gonna do it, go full fucking Wyatt Earp.
Yep.
All right.
That watch, you could deflect 2 bullets with that watch.
Is that a watch?
Yeah, either that or he's got a kettle strapped to his arm. I don't know. So it's kind of blurry, is what I'm trying to say. And finally, wrapping up the wholesome round, friend of the show, Jeffrey St. Clair. If you're not following Jeffrey St. Clair, you are missing out. He has posted this article headlined, Gen Zers are so terrified of a recession that they're ditching doom spending, ordering Happy Meals, and using ChatGPT for free therapy. And Jeff St. Clair says, I'm sure ChatGPT is as good as any Freudian analyst. And unfortunately, most Gen Zers can't afford a couch. That was pretty good. Wrapping up the ostensibly wholesome round and handing it to our guest, Jack, for QUik Six.
All right, who we got here? Let me share this.
Pardon me.
Loud applause.
All right.
Continued applause.
I'm gonna throw in a brain.
Oop. Yes. Okay. All right, we seeing this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I got it. Okay. All right. So it's captioned like high schoolers. Oop. So I gotta pop up. Oh, come on. Steam. Never play video. Oh. There we go.
I'm gonna buy you a pop.
Thanks. There we go. High schoolers. I'd kill for college tuition. U.S. military recruiters. And then the scene from Django Unchained zooming in on Leonardo DiCaprio, just saying, "You will."
This is from my life, dude.
You will.
Dude, I mean, that was almost from my life too, man.
You will. Yeah, I got lazy. I was never going to be able to become military. Get me out of it.
Lucky.
Sort of way. Like this one, it's a scene from The Notebook where Rachel McAdams is in Ryan Gosling's arms in the rain, and she's football teammates after scoring a goal. I like that. Like this one, it's a scene, it's the meme of Bob Odenkirk from the Better Call Saul like promo images, just staring with like a little smirk. It says, "How I look at my blind girlfriend, listening to her talk about her toxic exes after changing my voice for the third time this year."
Oh, wow.
That was clever.
That's pretty rough.
This one I just found pretty relatable. It's me forgetting that I exist while I'm driving. It's a picture of a little gecko just staring off into space.
I just asked some people today, I was like, have you ever driven home and then realized you don't remember driving? And they were like,
Yeah.
when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
drunk? And I was like, no, just like coming home from work.
Yeah.
Not sober, unfortunately.
You know how a lot of you people do these sober things, I'll never understand.
I like this one. It's that classic meme of it ain't much, but it's honest work.
Mm.
But the the middle part is blacked out, so it just says it ain't honest work. The caption is AI artists be like ain't honest work. Like that
Wow.
one. Okay, and the
That's
final
good.
one. Ooh, that's my cat. And the final one is Nobody and Cats, and then it's Leonardo DiCaprio, just the scene from The Great Gatsby where he's holding up a drink, and instead of a drink, it's just a little dead mouse.
Oh no.
I liked thought it was cute. Also, I didn't realize this. I bookended it. I started and bookended it with Leonardo DiCaprio memes.
Well done.
The beginning and end
Very nice.
of a theme to it. Be good to do start picking a theme for my QUik Six instead of
Oh, I
no theme at
advocate
all.
for
But
full-on randomness. That's my opinion.
So my
yeah,
cat
I better
has a
rephrase.
little toy mouse
Ooh.
that looks like a mouse. And a couple months ago, she comes out and she's like walking all proud. And I was like, I see she's got a little toy mouse in there. And I was like, in her mouth. And I was like, oh, who's a big tough girl? Did you kill that toy mouse? And she walks up and drops it and it fucking takes off running. I screamed. I was not ready for a surprise real mouse. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Well, my camera stopped working. I'm gonna have to go cameraless for the
Oh
rest.
no. How did you do that and make it sound dirty? I'm going cameraless. Yeah, it seems like nothing.
Going camera.
It doesn't sound like nothing when I say it. You say it, sexy. It's just dead sexy. I don't understand how you do it. Crazy, crazy shit.
Jack, you passing it off or are you still rolling?
No, that was my
That's it.
six.
Quit.
All right, here I go.
Passing it off.
Kicking off round 2, the second round. Also, this time it's also the penultimate round.
Yeah, I know we're switching it up.
Here we just have a picture of a sandwich. Is this ham?
Looks like turkey to me.
I think turkey, but it's not like the processed like sandwich meat. This is like, you know, the deli has sliced it for you.
Yes.
And but the way that they've situated it, this definitely looks like you're looking at a naked, thick person. And it just says, this sandwich better chill. Sandwich is thick as hell. Here we have a picture of egg whites, like with the yolks carved out, and instead inside it there's peanut butter and jelly.
Jesus
And it
Christ.
says, "Babe, are you okay? You've barely touched your PB and J's."
Jesus Christ.
I hate it so much.
I hate that so much.
This is a picture of a McDonald's, and the golden arches are ablaze, like just like raging fire. And it's captioned, "The beacon is lit. America calls for aid." Oh man.
Hail Satan!
Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for this one. This is from Officer Yudi, and it says, "Whoever decided to call them Kegels missed a golden opportunity to name them puss-ups." All right. Here we have RFK Jr. wearing a 311 tank top, and he's got like the broccoli haircut like the kids have these days, but it's bleach blonde. And it says teenagers on Netflix shows. Because they're old as hell. Man, I actually love this. It says, okay, I have an idea. Hear me out. And it's a chandelier where they've replaced all the light bulbs with lava lamps.
I love that.
That's really cool.
I love that
That's
so
weird.
much. I want that.
I feel like that's a little risky though. It's just if they get
That's why I love
like,
it.
It is definitely going to burn a house down for sure. This is, I don't know where this is from. It just says, you let them shenan once, they'll shenan again. I'm sorry.
Ah,
That's a TD joke, man. I guess maybe
that's a TD or a brain joke, and it's like we were very pun light tonight.
you
So,
know, I think that their absence sort of like causes us to bridge the gap.
sure.
This is a picture of Walter Goggins from the show Fallout, and it says,
Oh, yeah.
4-year-old me when my dad wouldn't give my nose back. And the first comment says, Baby Billy done snorted the biggest hole in his nose everyone wait in his nose anyone ever has. For those fans of the Righteous Gemstones, you'll understand. Trash Can Paul.
Hey,
And
Paul.
yeah, friend of the show, keeping it trashy, you know?
Yeah.
Says he paired up with drunk people doing things, which I have to say, if ever there was a match made in heaven, it's Trash Can Paul and drunk people doing things. And it says, when boys become men, they're sorted into one of these 4 houses, like in Harry Potter. And there's a pack of Marlboro, a pack of Newport, American Spirit, and a pack of Camel.
I briefly was in the Blue American Spirit
Yeah.
house. Very briefly.
I did a pretty good, I did maybe like a
Years.
12-month stint in the Blue American Spirit house. I gotta say though, I hate to admit it, but my brand is on this page. I don't smoke anymore, but I miss it. I was definitely Camel.
I would not kick any of those boxes out of bed.
Yeah, I've never turned any of these down.
Nope.
And
Smoke
I
a
will
Capri
say,
menthol. I don't care.
dude, I smoked Camel menthols, and when I started smoking, I was smoking Cools, and then I graduated to Newports. But like the thing I didn't like about Newports is like you're hurting yourself. Like with with other cigarettes, you can kind of forget, but with a Newport, you just know you're doing wrong. Trash Can Paul's back. It's picture of Tolkien, and he's smoking a pipe, and it says Tolkien comes back and says it's pronounced Jandolf, and then promptly dies again. Mastertainment. MT. Retweets Pop Crave. Pop Crave has a picture of JoJo Siwa giving Kathy Ebbs a kiss on her cheek, and it's captioned JoJo Siwa and Kath Ebbs have broken up. And MT captions it, those some Star Wars ass names. JoJo Siwa and Kath Ebbs. I agree.
Sure.
Moon Shadow
Hey, Moonshadow.
has this little, let's call it a short story. Babe, my parents are going to love you. Me so high, I'm starting to get scared. Smiles. Sign out in front of her parents' house. Welcome to our porch. Me. I've got to get the fuck out of here. I have 3 more for this round. Cassie Chow says, my boyfriend trying to be supportive. Then she's captured, she sent a screen grab of their text. She says, my shawarma fell apart. And he says, oh no, are you solution oriented about it or in the feeling stage?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ouch, right in the memories.
He's one of us. John Golson at Golson says, you've just ordered Pizza Hut. You've got a new copy of WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64 and a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. No school tomorrow. Your parents don't care if you stay up all night long. A perfect summer night. You are 39 years old. The year is 2022. And my last meme for round 2, the second round, it says, shaking my girlfriend's dad's hand. Great grip, sir. I see where she gets it from.
Oh my!
It's going to be a short relationship.
That is the one, the spicy meatball. Oh my gosh. Pardon me while I clear out my lungs and kick the rust off my vocal cords.
I'm still trying to figure out how to stop sharing.
Yeah, we know. There's a lot of sharing,
I'm going
oversharing.
to share again. What happens if I share again?
The kids call it. All right, taking over this show and booting you. The word for an Irishophile, which would be the equivalent of an Anglophile, is hibernophile, which means a person who is fond of Irish culture, language, or Ireland, derived from Hibernia, the Latin and therefore proper name for Ireland. So now you know. Friend of the show, Matt, has this picture of an old man talking to a younger man, and the old man has got his arms crossed and says, "Autism didn't exist back in my day." And then in the second panel, it just says, "Now get out. You know it's my model train time." Amy illustrates just like, yeah, you've been collecting miniature locomotives for 73 years and once called a child fat at a funeral. You're on the spectrum. Hey, here's a dumb holiday that I hope you never remember exists. The Mississippi holiday honors those who died defending slavery, with offices closed for Confederate Memorial Day. I believe
Wow.
this today. And I'm like, kiss my entire ass. Wow. So this is one of those jokes that's like funny, but not. Friend of the show and local drinking fraternity, Pi Omega Omega. And I'm not going to say which member because they like to use their code names and whatever, but, you know, friend of the show, Joe. He has this picture, says, "This is still my favorite ever family photo." It's one of those time lapses where they give them sparklers and have them do letters. And each person, there's 4 people here, each one is doing a letter and it spells out cock. Caption: "This is still my favorite ever family photo. My mom did the letter O. We told her we were going to write love."
This is awesome, dude.
Round 2, the second and irreverent round. Friend of the show, Steven, and I emailed Steven special and told him how much I appreciated all his memes. Posted this picture. It's like 6 little cartoons here. And one column says, "Places where ice belongs." A glass of water. A cold plunge. Guy getting into a bathtub. Earth's poles. And then places where ice doesn't belong. And we see ice agents in schools, hospitals, homes, and houses of worship. And yeah, I agree. A whole bunch of us agreed. A lot of people trafficked in this. That is not where ice goes. So abolish ice. I think that's the thing we should start saying. Anti-QAnon memes. Friend of the show, Terry Glenn. And if you're not following anti-QAnon memes, you are missing out. As this post from Sophia Avalone, 22, who says, "What low-key destroyed society without anyone noticing at the time?" Question mark. And Yvette Cole Brown says, "The Apprentice." Tight. That's a tight job right there. This is an interesting thing. I was following, well, I guess I wasn't following, but I got suggested Weird Hollywood, and they were talking about the old Mad magazine, and I had forgotten all about it. But but we used to read Mad magazine when we were little 13-year-old kids. This is a 6-panel featuring the art of Jack Rickard and writer Arnaldo Franchione. And we see out in the suburbs, it says, "One day in the comic suburbs," and we got Popeye and Olive Oil are heading to a door, and then next off we see Dagwood and Bumstead, or wait, what's it? No, anyway, two other, man, I can't remember their names. Wow, I had these names and I forgot about it. Daphne and Dagwood, doesn't matter. They're comic strip kids. You don't know these people. And then finally Daisy and, man, this hillbilly boy, and I can't remember his name either. Anyway, he's ringing the doorbell. And you see them all drinking and they're having a party. You can see it through the window. And then they leave and all the couples are mismatched and the men are all holding keys. Because this is a reference to one of these key parties back in circa 72. This is in a magazine for like 13-year-old boys. Do you get this?
Wow.
Yeah. So when you wonder why I'm so much smarter than you all, it's because I had better media growing up. That's what's
You party with 3 keys, so that's a very high chance you're just gonna get
so a key party was
everybody
everybody comes to a party
key.
and they put their keys into a bag. Yeah.
Oh, I know the concept.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I'm familiar with the concept, but
yeah, cartoon simplified. You're lucky you're lucky they all have 5 fingers. Come on, man.
I get it though. 3's not enough to be really that random. They
Yeah.
could have just had a phone. They could have just been a phone call.
It's
Yeah. They
Well,
could have sorted this out without all the parties.
Yeah.
Just send her over.
yeah, it's kind of hard to tell the motivations here, but everybody looks reasonably happy. I think the look on this one who's going home with Popeye is probably the most interesting though. Those eyes are big. She's like, oh, like I don't know. He's like, I got a lot of spinach at home.
I think it's the forearms. I think she's probably most excited about the four.
And he's got calves. Those calves are going on all day right there. All right, moving on. And friend of the show, anti-QAnon memes, Terry Glenn for a second time with a post from Skylar Ramirez. Says, okay, fine, I'll say it. Anyone who is incentivized enough by $5,000 to have a child is probably not financially secure enough to have a child. Just don't know if you saw that, but hey, $5,000 for a baby. And people were like, I don't think so. Hey, wanted to make fun of other people from the British Isles. So GWDIHW at You Would Know says, President Mealy of Argentina looks like a 70s Welshman who passed out drunk on his nephew's stag doing Bryn Mawr RFC and mysteriously woke up in the Vatican. I don't know if you know this. This Mealy idiot is the one who was on stage with Elon and during the chainsaw thing, because the chainsaw is his thing. So he not only looks like that, I mean, he thinks and acts like that too. That's Mealy. Ugh. Okay, moving on. Jay Sukal posts this 3 panel with a couch with the vice president's wife and the Pope, and it's labeled "Fuck, Marry, Kill."
Aw.
Because the couch is what makes it really funny. JD fans, you suck. Moving on. Feminist News has this spotted in DC sticker, and this is the Gadsden snake with a MAGA hat on, looking some goofy eyes, and it says, "Don't read to me." Feel that one, man. I actually read a study this week, and lo and behold, people of a conservative MAGA persuasion now just hate all science. And I know you're like, we knew that, Eric, but this is a peer-reviewed paper. They like put real work into it, and it's like, yeah, all science. It used to be just like the science they didn't like, but now it's like all science. So that's kind of funny. This was almost my post with the most. This is Bob of Bob's Burgers sitting behind a folding table, and it says, "You can't prove Doge has found anything. Change my mind." Repeatedly, lots and lots of studies. The last estimate that I saw, not only have they not saved any money, but the Department of Doge itself has cost $135 billion.
Yeah.
So that's a far cry from saving $2 billion to cost and add $135 billion. So I don't know. It's not going to matter. It's not until Doge comes up and bites some of these people directly on their personal ass, they will not understand.
Mhm.
It's just the level of, I don't know, lead poisoning. I have no idea. The level of stupidity that we're living in right now. Here's a picture of Jane Lynch, and it just says, "Me when I get my $8,000 Doge refund check." It says, "I am going to buy so many abortions." I like posting this into some of the radical groups just to piss people off. And then I just leave. This was one of my posts with the most, and a lot of fun people clicked on it. It's a picture of a crying Elon, probably AI, and it just says, "When you want to quit politics because destroying the country wasn't as fun as you thought it would be." Oh my God, he's just so terrible. Just for bonus here, here's Elon being pretty tubby in a pink tutu, and it's labeled "Sissy SpaceX." It was like almost there. It was like almost there. And that wraps up my penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most. So
Right.
going back to you there, Michael.
Here we go. Kicking off round, the post with the most.
Yeah, post with the most.
Also, Jinx has joined the party.
Hey, Jinx.
You should have said hi, Jinx.
Hey.
But I say, hey.
My post with the most this week comes from reluctantly, we're friends with stepbro.steve.
Oh,
Hey, Steve.
I didn't know we were talking about
And this is a movie poster for from Disney Pixar. And it says it's a picture of Godzilla versus King Kong, but King Kong has a giant ass.
this.
And it says Godzilla versus Donkey Kong.
Oh, God. Bedunk. I was looking at the text. I couldn't hear it. And I'm like, oh, okay. You say it out loud. Okay.
Now you know what kind of friends I have. So that's my post with the most this week. What do you got, Eric?
I understand. And in the same way, you know, every once in a while you get a post and you're like just thrilled at how smart your friends are. You know what I mean? The quality of what's happening. And that was one of the situations this week because my post with the most was from Dr. Ellie Murray, SCD. Said, some of y'all forget the reason we have food safety regulations is because companies used to do things like adding chalk to spilled milk so it looked normal. We have regulations because pure unadulterated capitalism would kill us.
Yeah.
And that was my post with the most. And I was
here.
My friend,
all right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am almost out of air, but I loved doing this show. That wraps up an entire episode of Facebook for the Blind for April 29th, 2025. And all 10,000 of you out there, that most of you when we've never met, thank you. We love you. Mwah.
Love you, George.
Woo! Love you, Beverly.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.